What is up, guys? NYKia31 here, bringing you a Madden 15 video. And in this video, I am going to talk about what is probably my biggest pet peeve in the game. And that is wide receivers competing for the ball downfield. I'm starting out here using the Chicago Bears, which is a good team to start out with for this particular exercise that I'm doing. And what I want you to pay attention to is, one, the difference between the wide receiver aggression when you have guys that have high spec catch and high jump ratings, like the Bears receivers here. They're just monsters in that regards. They're tall, they're, really highly rated in spec catch and jumping. And in the real world, you see that. Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, they're not burners by any stretch of the imagination, but they're still downfield threats because they can just bully defensive backs by just boxing them out and shielding them from the ball and catching the ball over them, or just flat out leaping them. It's not really possible to do a back shoulder throw in this game. I've tried it a million times. It's just going to lead to INTs. So what are you left with then when you want to get tall physical receivers down the field? You either have to send them deep over the middle, or in order to get the most out of their spec catch and jumping rating, you have to use or catch the ball, because the AI is just not going to trigger those animations near enough. And that leads to frustrating INTs, where you see your 6'4", 6'5" beast of a receiver going into alligator arm animations while the 5'10" corner skies up for the INT. It's an element of the game that is missing and really needs to be addressed. You want to have these guys battling and fighting for the ball. They don't have to come down with it, but, you want to have that competition for the ball in the air. Attack the football, then let, the talent level come into play. Like here, our user caught the ball, Alshon Jeffrey against Charles Tillman. They're about even on the matchup stick as far as speed goes. Brandon Marshall, he's 5 points slower in his speed, but, let the talent level and the physical stature of the players involved play itself out. And if it works, it works. If they come down with it, they come down with it. Like right there, you see it's not overpowered. I'm not doing anything cheesy like manipulating the route of the receiver to face catch the ball. I'm just trying to let his talent display itself. And you're not going to get that on a consistent basis unless you attempt to make the user catch. And right here, you can live with this. The corner is trying to face guard the receiver, Alshon Jeffrey. He's going up for the ball, and it's not overpowered. He doesn't come down with it in this case. But you can live with the outcome because they're both competing. They're both battling for that ball. The receiver isn't being a spectator by going into alligator arm mode or not making any effort on the ball at all and costing you an INT. Right there, I almost get another one. And you'll see the same thing on the same side with Brandon Marshall as well. You saw it. You've seen it already. Now, and here I am using him again, and this time I come down with it. But when it's left to the AI, you don't see the AI trigger those spec catch and jumping ratings nearly enough. Here's another attempt, and that one gets broken up. I mean, because you can't back shoulder the streak, you have to wait for him to get really far downfield in order for the AI to have a better chance of generating a spec catch animation. Like here, the AI is controlling Brandon Marshall now, and you see there a very weak catch attempt that results in the corner having a chance to INT the ball. Same thing, letting the AI control Alshon Jeffrey, and there he actually does a good job. But you have to wait for so long because you can't really place the ball to the outside with very many options. And here again, AI controlled, and there a weak attempt and a bad throw. I mean, this is Jay Cutler after all. So you don't need to, or you shouldn't need to be reliant on just sheer vertical speed to stress the defense down the sideline deep. Again, another weak attempt by Brandon Marshall. Now the goal line fade works. I think it's because again, the AI seems to trigger these animations when the receivers get even. And obviously, again, all of a sudden Jeffrey makes the catch. But and again, in a goal line situation, you obviously don't have that far to go before you're even with the corner, and you're most likely going to be pressed up at the line anyway. That they tend to jump for the ball. And there he does a nice one-handed catch attempt. That's what you want to see Brandon Marshall do. That's why that's why you're paying him that money to go up and get the ball. But as I was saying, the goal line fade is better because the receiver is going to be even with the corner pretty much instantaneously, or a heck of a lot sooner, and you can lob the ball up there, and you'll get a good catch attempt more often than you would on a long field situation. There, Alshon Jeffrey is doing a very nice job on that side. He's beating Charles Tillman like a drum. But again, you see him too often also revert to those alligator arm catch attempts as well. They're about even. And you can live with that. He tries to leap for the ball. He misses. And Alshon makes the catch. You just want to have the chance, and then let the talent play out. I hear Steve Smith, he's a short receiver, but he's competitive. He plays tall. He's only 5'9", but Stevie Smith, he plays bigger than his height. If you've ever competed in real life, you know that there are players in all sports who play bigger or smaller, faster or slower than their measurables. And Stevie Smith, he's one, tough little nut. Antonio Brown is like that. I was actually surprised when I saw that Antonio Brown is only listed at about 5'10", 5'11". He plays much bigger. He plays like a guy who's 6'2", 6'3". But again, you really won't see that unless you take matters into your own hands. So that really needs to be improved upon, and I have a feeling it will. I am absolutely certain that you're going to see the Odell Beckham one-handed catch in the game. And what you hope doesn't happen is that the scales of balance don't get tipped too far in the other direction. It just becomes, a leaping one-handed grab circus act out there. Generally speaking, I like the balance between O and D in this game. I believe the powers that be that have interacted with the community before the game dropped were accurate in that description. There are still some overpowered elements in the game that skew the balancing act some. Everyone still loves the pistol strong power and pistol counter runs, the offset shotgun, zone split plays, the 0-1 trap, shotgun deep crossers. You guys who play head-to-head and online, you know the drill. People figure out the path of least resistance and gravitate towards what works the easiest. And we all do that, No one's immune to that. I'm not someone who looks to go out there and whore out the AI of the game. And as you see more of the common stuff, you become better at identifying it and defending it. But I feel like that gap is closing. And here, AI Stevie Smith actually doing a pretty decent job. Went for a lug jumping one-hander, didn't come down with it. But at least he went for it. Just give the play a chance, wide receiver. Like here, I would love to be able to back shoulder this throw like right now, but you can't. You can't do it. If you try to underthrow it, it'll be an INT or incompletion every single time. We don't have the ball placement ability to make that kind of pass. Oh, and there he came up with it. So AI Stevie Smith here is actually showing some good things. So that's the annoying thing. You can see that it's there. It just has to come out more often. AI Stevie Smith is on a roll right now, but you saw several cases earlier where AI Brandon Marshall and AI Alshon Jeffrey didn't do a damn thing, and there is what you see more often than not. So that needs to be improved. I'll have to hear what you guys think. Talk to y'all later. Peace.